data. Yeah.
Hey, good afternoon, folks. We are Let It Run. I'm Freddie Bro York, once again located in the studios, which is my second bedroom. And my condo, John, you look like you're traveling, which is not
On the move. Yes, got to keep up my name. The traveling handicapper is now traveling to Atlantic City.
Well, thankfully, you're not behind the wheel, so that's a good thing.
We did make the switch. We pulled over to the park and ride, and we switched drivers.
Okay. Well, it is happy hour. You're driving. I'm not. I'm raising my NYRA glass. So
Naira glass. There you go.
After the long week at Hamilton Physical Therapy Services, this is a well-deserved sip.
Yep. Very good. Enjoy it.
Hey, before we dive into the show, which we're going to cover first, we're going to go ahead and cover the first race that we'll cover will be one of two races that are being run for Derby prep points on Saturday. Well, that'll be the San Felipe Stakes, 6:41 Eastern Standard Time. The second race that we're going to talk about and we'll cover is the Tampa Bay Downs race, another Derby prep race, Tampa Bay Derby, which is at 5:35 Eastern Time. So there is time between the two big prep races. And I think, John, those are the only two prep races this weekend.
Yeah, that's the ones that matter. I didn't really see anything else, but I've been focusing on these two and the Tampa Bay card, which we'll cover tomorrow early time, 11:30. Give you time to finalize your tickets for the late pick five. So 11:30 tomorrow, we'll cover the entire late pick five at Tampa.
Yeah, let's talk about tomorrow's show. Some may be glad to hear this. I will not be on the show. I'll be participating in a luncheon at Bill's Old Tavern for the Marshals who are in the St. Patrick's Day Parade for the Hibernian Club, which is next Saturday, March 14th. We hope to have good weather. But John, why don't you talk about our guest who's been on the show before? We're looking forward to have him. He's in Tampa. He is our boots on the ground.
Wadey, my buddy from Tampa, Wadey will join us. He'll be there hosting a bunch of people at Tampa because it's his big day at his home track. And he just told me today his horse got in the fifth race tomorrow. So he's got a horse running in the fifth.
Really?
So awesome. We'll get an update on that and see, what he looks like.
That's awesome. So speaking of updates on horses, I wasn't there. I wish I was there, but I watched it. J.K. Strong put in a very impressive performance on Thursday. So how did she come out of there, John? Okay?
Yeah, as far as we know, she came out good. We'll look to run her back in the same class, same distance, everything in about 2 weeks. But she was a lot calmer in the paddock for the first time. The last couple times she was geared up. So you got two guys walking her over. Plus you got the outrider on the pony just to get her calm and get her into the paddock. And then when you do, when she's being saddled, three people to saddle her and she's kicking the stall and it's just a lot going on. And she's sort of growing up. Once she got saddled, then she just stood there and she was totally fine.
She knew
she knew what to do.
It was game time.
It was. And then let's see, after the race, she broke good like expected. She had the lead like expected. I expected lone lead, but the three horse got out there and, pushed us a little bit, which, then she shook her off. And then we kept going. And then the big favorite zoomed up and ran right by like we were standing still.
Yeah, well,
and then expecting her to, maybe kick it in a little bit or whatever. Then she, came back on and she re-engaged the winner deep in the stretch where it gave us a, little route at the very end that maybe she could, catch her. But beat her length at the end. So, we'll take that performance, for the first debut, nothing. And then a third, now a second. And the same class, we should be okay running, first, second, or third in this class as long as it takes the breaker maiden.
Well, she looked good on dirt. She looked good on in the slop. That was the track was yesterday. So we look forward to it. So I saw a video of her in the paddock. She did look, but she's like a beast, man. She's like a beast. She was like puffing and ready and just like not in a bad way. No,
No,
I
no, in a
don't.
good way. She
You,
looks the part. I mean, she looks
oh,
the part. She
yeah, because they were showing. I was seeing some of the other horses. I'm like,
mm-mm,
those horses
not
don't look the same. They don't
no.
look the
Actually,
same.
the winner, the four, was a tiny little, it looked like a little 5 furlong turf horse.
Yeah.
But that's the one that beat us, and we were, prancing around there like, a big one, and then a little tiny one is the big favorite and wins. So
Hey, she looks
depends how much
good.
heart they have.
Well, listen, hey, she looked good. She ran good. Nice second place finish. Nice way to look forward and look ahead to the next race. So um, let's talk about our sponsors once again. Don't forget them, the Vape Shop in Hamilton. Also, Cases Pork Roll. There will be no Cases Pork Roll today at the Hibernian Club as it is Lent. Fish
Lent
Fridays.
fish fry.
There will be some fish fry flying around there today. So don't forget about that. And also, Brisnet.com, the handicapper's edge. Certainly, as I have become more accustomed to using their information, I've been using it for a while. And John is also becoming more adept and in tune to using their handicapping information as well. We want you to use their handicapping information. Brisnet.com, the handicapper's edge. Check it out. Wealth of information. So, John, let's go ahead and talk about race 8, Santa Anita, the San Felipe Stakes. Why don't you kick us off, John?
Yep, two-turn mile and a 16th, full Derby points on the line because they have enough horses. Grade 2, $200,000 big stepping stone for the Santa Anita Derby and the Kentucky Derby. So started out with the one horse. Dan Blacker, I'm wondering, did he claim this horse with this intention to enter this horse to make it a full field and be a rabbit for his number 2 horse who needs a lot
Absolutely.
of pace and comes running? So I can only see this horse being a rabbit in there. And it also gave the field maximum Derby points. So you'll definitely see him early, but when their running starts going into the final turn, I'm expecting this horse to be long gone.
I didn't realize that. So, if there was only 6 horses, the Derby points would have been less.
Yes, it would have been less.
How about that? I mean, I did not know that, but I definitely saw that this horse was clearly by the same trainer entered for the very reason you just mentioned. I mean, you're going from a claiming $25,000 race, broke a maiden in a maiden claiming $32,000 race at Delmar, um, not putting your go-to jockey on the horse. So clearly, just get the horse out, let the horse run as fast as he can to set up a chance for the number 2 start the ride. The other Dan Blacker horse, that horse broke his maiden, then went to a mile and 16th on dirt. I think this horse is kind of interesting. I like the fact that Ayuso's back on him, training very well for the return. Uh, when Blacker gets them running well, they stay running well. So, I mean, the horse 5-1, or I'm sorry, 12-1 morning line, 5-1 on Equine Edge. Interesting enough. So now this horse might have a shot to hit the board. I'm not sure if it's going to win, but I certainly would consider using this horse in my exotic bets at 12-1, John.
Yeah, I'm definitely using underneath for sure, and I'm going to sprinkle in a couple tickets with him actually winning the race, which will be a total bomb. He broke his maiden in the State Bred Cow Cup, in the middle of January, and the horses that he ran against, he beat Palavian, who came back to win the Sunland Derby with an
Yeah,
83 buyer, increased 10 points for Palavian, and this horse. The first time starter was held at the gate by the assistant starter so long that he never let go for like 3 to 4
really?
seconds.
Oh,
And
wow.
that's why it was declared a non-starter. That's why I don't see no odds next to it. They scratched him after the race was run because did not get a fair start. Then when he
Wow.
did get the fair start, he broke slow and he came circling the field, ran a mile and 16th over the track at this distance. So 2 things you got to love. Now, third time start with pace to run into. So definitely one that's going to be on my radar. Secured Freedom, the 3, another one that ran in spots last time. Was up near the pace, then he backed out of it. Then he came. Really a weird run race for this horse. But then when he
Mhm.
did kick in at the very end, he galloped out in front of everybody. Big gallop out when he finally figured it out in the stretch after being green. So another one that will not have any problem with the distance. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm sorry. This is the wrong one. Practical Joke. Everybody, thinks, more like a mile. This mile and 16th probably is within his wheelhouse. Going further than that, I'd be a little skeptical. But I think at the price this one's going to be, worth a look. Be in my exotics for sure at 8 to 1.
Oh, I agree. Ran third in the last race behind Plutarch, who scratched out of the Derby. Is that correct, John?
Plutarch. He's off the Derby Trail, right?
Yeah. Before that horse was off the Derby Trail, was certainly a high quality horse. And Intrepido, the ran third behind those two horses in the like you said in the last race that this horse was in. Jockey Kevin Kimura, certainly in the West Coast, one of the top jockeys out there, staying on this horse for a good trainer, Tim Yakteen. I think that horse, 28 to 1 morning line, has good closing kick. No doubt the Practical Joke can get a mile 16th. I don't disagree with that. I think going any further might be a little trouble for that horse. Next horse, big horse. Everybody's going to love this horse. 45 morning line Brant, trained by one of Bob Baffert's second one of two entries in here. Has some pace. Certainly doesn't need the lead, but certainly probably going to get the lead, I would think. I don't know what Florent Giroux is going to do on this horse for the first time. He certainly rides often for Bob Baffert. I don't think that's any problem. Obviously, even Monday morning line has a big chance to win, working out well for the return. I think this horse certainly deserves to be the favorite and probably likely going to be the horse to win the race, the one to beat, whatever label you want to put on this horse, John. Maybe John is in a where he may have lost his connection, but I'll keep going. The next horse is a Bob Baffert horse that I have some interest in. Ridden by J.J. Hernandez, Kimura gets off this horse to go on the 3-horse, not a Bob Baffert horse. Are you back, John?
Yeah, I'm in the parking garage. I'm trying to get into the casino, which has the good reception. So bear with me. But did you finish up Brant?
I just started. I went down with Brant. Yes, I said he's probably going to be the one to beat. Certainly, obviously, the morning line even money, probably going to be less than even money by the time the gates open. So I did talk about that horse, John. Yes.
Yeah, he's probably going to be, in the area of 4 to 5 or something. $3 million purchase. Even though he ran great in the Breeders' Cup, juvenile. Horse to this spot, trying to get him into the race, but it just was a rush job to get him here. So there's too many negative things against this. Even money I would include him defensively, but not one that I would lean on and single like some even monies. But I'm going to try to beat this one.
I agree with you there, John. I think this horse is a vulnerable favorite. We all use that term. You use the term. He's a fade horse for you. I think defensively, if you're going to play any horizontal type bets, can't leave him out. Unless you want to leave him out, that's up to you. Sometimes you can do that, but I tend to agree.
All right, moving on to number 5, Potente. What I see here, the horse that he beat, Captain Steve. He's just an okay horse. I mean, so he did what he was supposed to do in a 5-horse field. Baffert's other horse, they paid $2.4 million for this one. Really sharp break horse. He got out and did what he had to do. Not sure. I mean, he's got to maybe show me a little bit more. Probably. Let me see the price here. I'm probably going to fade him as well. The 2 Bafferts. I'm going to try to beat both of them because that's where you get value. If you beat Baffert at Santa Anita, that's where you get paid.
I can't disagree with that thought. If you beat Baffert at Santa Anita, you're going to get paid. I kind of like this horse. I mean, I like J.J. Hernandez, top jockey at Santa Anita, getting on this horse. He's got good early speed. I'm not saying he is need the speed or need the lead car. I think JJ Hernandez is going to rate this horse a little bit better behind some of the much more early speed, cheaper speed, like the one horse. I think he's got the ability to get out and not get stuck. Again, young horse, got some upside, out of into mischief. I think that's a real plus for this horse. So I'm not saying I'm picking him as my winner, but I think of the two Bob Baffert horses, for both the price and the fact that I think the horse is possibly has some more bigger upside, I think that horse has a big shot.
Here.
So number 6, So Happy. A lot of people like this horse, So Happy. Did you like Potente, John? You didn't like Potente. You said no.
Potente, I got to see more. First time, second time starter. He had everything his own way. He beat 5 horses, so I'm probably going to try to beat both of them. But either one would not surprise me if they won. But I'm not in the side of Potente.
It's not in the Baffert camp at this point. So the number 6 horse, So Happy. Big jockey Mike Smith, Big Money Mike, is on this horse again. Put up a big buyer speed figure number last time out with a small field of 5 at Santa Anita 7 furlong race. Looked pretty good winning. Had a little trouble getting started. So certainly a horse that certainly has some upside. Working out tremendously for the return for Mark Glatt, trainer. I think this horse has a chance, John. So Happy.
No, I'm sorry. Let me see here. This one here. This is the one I like. I like the So Happy horse. Been great workouts the last 4. Never missed a beat. Came on both times. Did it professionally. Very impressive. Buyer. So this will probably be my my top pick. And I'm going to sprinkle in, like I said, the 2 and a 3, trying to catch them underneath. So 6 will be my top play with the 2 and 3 under.
Okay. Then we got one horse left to talk about.
Robusta, not much air.
Not much to talk about, but
yeah, his only time that he won, he 5-horse field in absolutely pedestrian-like 48 flat fractions, and he just held on. So it's just gonna be so much tougher, deeper waters for him here. So I don't know. I don't want no parts of him.
I think I agree. I don't need to say much about that horse. You said it all right there. Although I do like Caramillo as a jockey, but he's just not on a good enough horse. The horse was in the same race that Robusta Secured Freedom was in. Robusta was in the Robert Lewis race, the Grade 3 at Santa Anita. But I think this horse is just up against it. So I'm going to stick with the 5. I like the second Bob Baffert entry. I think I'm going to do like you mentioned, put the 2 and the 3 underneath with that, but I'm going to do the 5 and the 6 on top of the 2 and the 3, and looking for a little price for underneath. I think that's a good bet. So that's who we like in that race, John. We'll talk about that race, or you guys will talk about that race maybe a little tomorrow. Get some feedback from Wadey. Now we're going to go on to a much more exciting race, the Tampa Bay Downs, Tampa Bay Derby at Tampa Bay Downs. Nice big field here, big field of 9. Good field, so 50 points are on the line. John, why don't you kick it off once again?
Yep. It starts with Red Lamb and Rebels. He is the speed of the race from the rail. No choice but to gun it out of there. Now going turf to dirt. Broke his maiden on the turf. His lone dirt start was not nothing to write home about. So maybe a pace factor, and probably not going to be on any of my tickets.
Yeah, I mean, this horse clearly looks like a turf horse in terms of what the horse has done so far in his career. His 2 best buyer speed figure numbers are on turf. Trainer Patrick Bancone does well when he puts a horse from turf to dirt. Drew a pretty good spot for a horse with speed. I don't think this horse has a chance to win, but certainly his morning line of 10-1 is going to go up. I think quite a bit, but not my horse. The other horse is the next horse is number 2, Talkin', 15-1, ridden by Joel Rosario. Number 2, Prime Power, trained by Danny Gargan. One of several horses in this race that has a P designation from Brisnet, which is a presser. And that horse, that designation of a presser by Brisnet wins a lot of races at this distance at Tampa Bay. So you got to keep that in mind. Now, this horse is not my pick of the pressers, but this horse certainly looks as if had a bad race the last time out, just tired and no excuse, really no excuse that anyone could see that I could see. Hasn't held up very well. His form is kind of not really looking like he's a horse on the improve. So this horse is a fade for me.
Yeah. I don't think the form of the Champagne really held up, even though he ran with a lot of good ones were Renegade and Paladin and Napoleon and Further Ado, but just going the wrong way for me. And he was scratched out of the Fountain of Youth last week for this spot. What that means,
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But not one that has made my radar. Then move on to the next one. Start with the next one, Fred, please.
Yeah, sure. The number
What
3,
size?
Roger That Dana.
Queen.
This is
Say
second
Queen.
last time out to Commandment. Obviously, Commandment, one of the favorites in the Kentucky Derby now.
Thank you.
But finished 6 lengths behind that runner Commandment. So it was a distant second. I think this horse is up against it as well. Lost ground in both attempts over 6 furlongs, which was the distance that the horse broke its maiden in. So trying to make the distance of ground up right now in a race of this quality is going to be tough. That horse is definitely not on my radar.
No, speed figure's a little slow. Has God bless. Has a little too far. This is too far of a race for this horse, and his speed figures, even if he could get the distance, really don't match up. But he did, run second to Commandment, which we know what that one did, and Strategic Risk at that time was good. So he did face some good company, but a little too far in this spot. Not on my radar. Moving to the wrestling fans out there, Hulkamania. Whit Beckman. This is an interesting one at the price. I mean, 20-1. He definitely, no problem with the distance. And I think he could just sit a nice trip and, make himself heard, running in the stretch. It's a lot to ask going from, maiden special to a grade 3 Tampa Bay Derby. But at the 20-1, if he remains, above 15-1, he'll definitely be in the mix. And I would sprinkle very few tickets with him on top, but mainly, a second, third horse to boost your tries.
He is one of the horses. There are 4 or 5 of them that have that P presser rating from Brisnet, which again, it's like 57% win at this distance at Tampa Bay Downs in the last how many races I've checked that out. Has good, has the ability to stay. I think the horse is bred for distance. I think a couple other horses are coming out of maiden races that might have a little more upside than this horse. One of them is right below this horse, the number 5 Power Shift 7-2, ridden by Johnny Velasquez. JV's getting on him. Irad Ortiz got off of this horse to go ride the horse of choice that he picked. We'll get that horse a little bit later. Actually, not too much later. But this horse has good early speed, but I don't think, again, early speed, 117 early pace figure is the highest in the field, but he isn't rated an E. That means he doesn't need to lead. He's a presser. This horse has a big chance, I think, to win. Has the highest last race speed rating. The buyer figure 96 is solid. 7-2 morning line. I'd like this horse. This is my pick for the races. The number 4 or 5 Power Shift. That's my pick.
Yeah, this is going to be one of my top 2 picks as well. I can't, separate my top 2 contenders, but I'm going to take a shot with the maiden breakers, even though I said Hulkamania coming out of a maiden special weight, it's a lot to do. But this one, very professionally in a full field of 9. And he really dueled it out, down the stretch with Emerging Market. And they were 13 lengths clear, 13 lengths clear of the field. So that in a very high number, the buyer was high. And then all the figs on the rag sheets and Thorograph and, time form, all the numbers came back fig. So that number should hold up. It's not an outlier with like the buyer number or something. So definitely one of my top 2, picks here. Moving on to Further Ado, the 6 9-5 favorite. Caught everybody's attention when he won by 20 at Keeneland. Um, I think this is a total fade for me. I'm definitely going to try to beat him. I just think that this is a bad 5, 6 race. Beat him. So we just went through the who are soldier diplomat who has this was a long race, but then he ran wins by 20 and a little bit more win getting up at 3 to 5 last time against a couple distance horses, distance troubled horses, Universe, Soldier, Diplomat. So I think that one race was just an outlier, the one he wins by 20 with that high number. The other three
100%.
numbers were all the same. So I'm going to throw out that outlier and hope that he's not as good as that one race. And at even money, 4 to 5, great horse, I think, to try to beat. Even though Brad Cox said this is his number one Derby horse, which that scares me a little bit. So, what do you think about him, Fred?
Not my horse either. I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head. An outlier at Keeneland, both in terms of the win by 20 lengths and the Beyer speed figure. I think they're inflated by what goes on in Keeneland. I think that track tends to make Beyer speed figures a little bit higher based on the track. Doesn't have the rating, the Brisnet rating that would make me attracted to this horse because he has an EP6, so early in, pressure, a little bit of both. I think based on the horses that are in this race that are P's, including the one I like the most, which is the number 5, I'm going to try and beat this horse. And if he beats me, so be it, John. The 7-horse Thunder Buck is 20-1, ridden by Brendan Walsh. Another P horse, but I think this horse up against it. Sammy Marin getting a chalky, who's familiar with Tampa Bay. The Beyer speed figures don't add up. I don't think certainly has shown Beyer speed figure or winning wise that it has the ability to beat some of the horses in this race, John.
No, I can't see this one. It just left the Brad Cox barn and in with Brendan Walsh. Calumet homebred, which a lot of times they like to see their silks in these big races. So a lot of times it's the owners and putting it in the race whether the trainer likes it or not. It's gonna be a tough one, and that LeComte was just so bad to believe, and to take him out of that race, not even sure. And the only time he ran good was with Lasix, and he doesn't have Lasix here, so I'm gonna pass on him. Moving on to the maiden here, the Puma, who ran with 2 excellent, possibly 2 Derby favorites with Renegade and Chief Wallaby. So, what a way to start out your career running behind them. This is one that has a big shot. It would be probably my 3rd pick in this race. Like I mentioned, I like the 5 already, and I'm probably going to, the flashy 9, I'll get to that in a second. But the Puma is definitely one that is going to be prominent. He'll be my 3rd pick, and I'll rate him as a high B on my grid. So he will be on a lot of pick 5 tickets, and he will be on every underneath ticket for sure.
Well, your grid looked very good last night, John. So I hope that grid on Saturday looks just as good. The Puma was a horse I loved when he broke his mane, or didn't break his mane yet. Should have broke his mane had Chief Wallaby beat him. Okay, we know who Chief Wallaby is now. So I think that's a race you can say, okay, fine. Last race had Eddie Gonzalez on him. Like they just put him on those. I don't think the jockey gave him such a good ride. Castellano's back on him, 8-1. I really think this horse has a big chance. I think those are my top 2 picks. The number 5 Power Shift, and the number 8 Puma. Those are the 2 horses I really am going to lay my hat on. And the Puma is a speed horse. It's got some speed, but not quite the kind of speed that he's going to get up front. I think he has to get a little faster if he's going to have a chance with these horses. Brisnet does rate this horse as an E horse, which means he wants the lead, he needs the lead. So he's going to have to get a little faster, I think, to live up to that. But I think Javier Castellano can get the best out of this horse. The number 9 horse, a lot of people are going to love this horse. This horse has been given a big chance to win. Another horse that is a speed horse, a need the lead kind of horse. Flavian Pratt stays on this horse for Chad Brown. So 5-2 morning line is pretty generous. I thought this horse would have been the 9-5 when I was doing my handicapping prior to the odds, because I do it without the odds, because when I print them out, they're blank, which I kind of like that. I thought this horse would have been 9-5 or even 8-5, along with Further Ado, of course. But 5-2, I think, is pretty generous. And this horse, I think, was on the outside post last time. This horse raced at Gulfstream Park. So this horse is familiar with how to win from an outside post, and won by six or eight lengths.
Thank you.
And beat Audubon, who came out to win next time out. So this horse got a shot, John.
Big shot, and it's going to be very close to co-favorites with Further Ado. And I'm hearing enough handicappers, down on Further Ado and all his overall numbers, that this horse is the hot horse. Chad Brown, the last 3 horses he had break their maiden and go into graded stakes, 3 for 3. He's won his last 3. Breaking the maiden, graded stakes. They definitely paid $1 million for this horse. He did it so professional, and the race, hopefully, like you said, Audubon came back to win. The race holds up, and I love Flavian Pratt sticking around. So yeah, this will be my one of my top picks. I will take the 5 and the 9 and use it over top of the 8 horse. And like I said, Hulkamania maybe to close and get like 3rd or 4th. But one of my top 2.
After that comment that Chad Brown was 3 for 3, I took out the red pen and
highlight that. Yeah,
put a big circle around count 3 for 3. That's amazing. Horses that broke their maiden and then entered a stakes race. He's 3 for 3
into a graded stakes, not just a stakes, a graded stakes. His last 3, he's won all 3. So he positions the horses that have a real chance. He's not going to send, a maiden breaker to a stake race that, he develops them the way they should be, where he could go non-winners of, one other than allowance, and then maybe more move into an overnight stake before they get into that. And he's willing to take his time with them. This was his Preakness horse that they're all talking at. This is the Preakness horse. This is the Preakness. So I think if he doesn't win this race here, he will be pointed directly for the Preakness and, come up with a path for that. But if he wins impressively here, I think those Preakness plans may get shuffled around, and he will come up with a plan to get him to the Derby. So if he doesn't win, Preakness in the cards. If he wins, reshuffle Derby. That's just my thought.
No, I think those thoughts are accurate, and I think this horse has a big chance to win. I mean, my top pick is number 4. I'm going to use the number 5 Power Shift over the 8 and the 9. I mean, I like those horses as well. I just think this race is a great betting race. But again, I just have to go back to that P rating. That means a lot when Brisnet rates these horses based on their run style, and they come up with a graphic that shows what percentage of horses win if they have it. So there's a lot of P's in this race, but meaning pressers. But the only 2 that attract me are the 4 Hulkamania and the 5 Power Shift. The other ones don't really have that. Should be a very interesting race to watch, John, and I'm looking forward to watching it myself. Somehow in between what I'll be running around with today. But I want to thank you, John, for taking the time once again to join the show as you travel about your place. I hope you have it sounds like you're going to turn around and go right home now.
We got our free gift, which was 2 sets of queen sheets. Now we got some free play. We'll gamble a little bit of slots and maybe maybe a couple bucks, and see if we can get my wife some tier points to get her up to the status that we're trying to get to with the tier points. So it's all a big game.
Good luck with that, John. Appreciate you taking the time. I know it's a little bit of a hassle to be walking around and checking in with your phone. We really appreciate you joining us. Looking forward to watching the show tomorrow, in between when they're talking about what floats are going to be in the parade and who's going to cover which floats or what floats. I'm going to try to listen into the show, and also try to Charlie, I'll send you my picks as far as the pick 5 that I'm going to have at Tampa in the late pick 5. And I wish you good luck, John. So any final words before we check out?
No, just make sure you have your earpiece in, and you got to have your phone in your pocket, and nobody would even know what you're listening to. But yeah, get me your picks over. We'll post them up. Me, Wavy, and yourself will have a ticket up there, and we'll go over to late pick 5 at their big day, Tampa Bay Derby Day.
No, hey, looking forward to it. Hope the weather holds up. It's supposed to be a little wet there tonight. Tomorrow, maybe a little rain, maybe not, but should be okay. They've been dry for a while there, so it's not going to be a downpour. So they'll be fine. So, okay. On that note, just remember, like we always say, bet smart, cheer hard. Fast horses sometimes can equal serious fun. Sometimes they can equal some other things. But remember, bet smart, cheer hard, and as we always say, let them run. John, thanks again. Good luck. Have a safe ride home. And I'll look forward to seeing the show tomorrow with you and Wade. And thanks again, John.
All right. Thanks, Fred. See you guys.
All right.